If you've been with me on this channel for a little while, then you know that I've been conducting a series of interviews with veteran leadership and executive coaches. I've been having these long form interviews to give you a lot of insight into the world of leadership and executive coaching and to give you ideas on how you can be a more effective coach and have a more successful practice. In this clip, I've taken a selected question and answer from one of the past interviews to give you an opportunity to reinforce an existing point if you've already watched the whole interview, or to give you an opportunity to just learn a little bit from this executive coach. If you like this question and answer and you haven't watched the whole interview, I highly recommend that you find it on this channel and do so. So my next question was actually going to be asking you about an example that you wanted to share of how you've helped an organization. But I think you answered that question with that example. You just went right into that example of something that was going on. So I'd like to ask my next question instead, which is, how do you present coaching and what it can do to help someone who's never had coaching before?
Yeah, so maybe I can answer your previous and this one together.
Okay.
Working with a new client, in some of these private ownership companies, especially, I mean, there's some amazing companies out there that, whether it's the second generation or it's a family business that's really grown, or just a successful business that really hasn't dealt with anyone from the outside. And so there's an owner that approached me, and it was referenced through somebody else. It was very skeptical, and that's okay. And it was totally cool because he just didn't know what to expect. So I definitely did not go into the coaching conversation at all. Actually, it was much longer after I even got a contract and started working with this company. And there's always that balance of, that coaching versus consulting. And really working with this company, as we went along further, we went a little bit more into what is this coaching, and realizing that, hey, sometimes I can tell you that audits, for example, I can tell you that audits are really important. And, we should really do them, because if it's a law of entropy and gravity, and things will get pulled down if we don't keep having some type of an audit to make sure if our place is going to be organized and how we want to organize it. So you got to audit that all the time. And then I would talk to him and he'd be frustrated because the place wouldn't be organized. So he's going, I'm going to talk to all the people, going to bring them back in again. I'm like, okay, so how's that working for you? And more of that coaching conversation. And then just by having that coaching conversation, someone who's been working on their own self-awareness and trying to progress as the owner, realizing kind of on his own, hey, I need to go back to the audits. And that really, by using that coaching approach, that really helped this owner see it on his own, because if I said it, it's not going to stick. But by just having those coaching conversations and knowing that, hey, there's a reason why we talk that way, being upfront and intentional of, this is why I'm kind of asking the questions, and just see what you think. And if you think it's good, it's probably going to work.
So it's presenting coaching and practicing it, actually coaching the client. You find that that's an effective means of helping someone to understand, who hasn't had coaching before, how it can help.
That was the approach in that situation. I'll give you a second situation where just got a formal coaching contract. And with that one, I took some articles, wrote it in my own words of what to expect from coaching, and trying to create some material that way. So I think just kind of like doing that soft introduction of, hey, so I've never had coaching before. I'll say, so what to expect here? So I think just always having that upfront, easy to digest education. Maybe it's a video you make, maybe it's a one pager that you have, but what's authentic to you, so that when you go into that relationship, we have clear expectations and boundaries, and that we know what to expect from each other. I'm not going to come in here and just tell you what you should be doing different.
Right.
You've probably got a lot of people in your life that can tell you that.
Great. Yeah, good idea there to educate them, because I find that I do spend some time doing that when I meet with people who haven't had coaching before. So maybe presenting them with some material that they can study and think about even before the conversation, to start to understand what coaching is. So I want to ask a question that just kind of comes to mind based on what we've been talking about. Recently, my experience, Trevor, in establishing a coaching opportunity with a very large company, it's taken me about 10 months. And I've had to invest in additional insurance policy per their vendor specifications. So I've had to exercise a lot of patience. There were a couple of times where I almost just kind of threw it in and just forget it. I'll just go seek another company.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with needing to have patience and perseverance in establishing working agreements with some larger companies?
Patience. Yeah. A lot of patience, and just knowing that this is not something you get into and just kind of dabble in it for 6 months. It's a long road where sometimes it's a couple of years later.
Mm.
And for me, and that's why I'm going to be launching a newsletter, because a lot of the people that I serve don't have time to go on social media. And it's just trying to find, hey, top of mind, and hey, when you are ready, and maybe it's been 10 months and you're still thinking about it, I really find that kind of go back to emotional intelligence, and I'm practicing self-awareness all the time, because it's like, okay, have I not done the right approach with this client? And, it's taken me 10 months. It's something I'm doing, or is it, I just need to meet them where they are, And if that's where they are, how do I become more mindful and more aware of them? And what do they really need? Because they just may not be ready at this moment, but they may be ready in 6 months from now. Maybe it's a year from now. So how do we just kind of continue that relationship, stay top of mind, make sure that we've communicated, what we have to offer. And when there's enough pain or the right time, then I believe that those contracts are going to come to fruition.
Patience and perseverance. That's what I found are necessary to succeed in this business.